Hey, freedom fighters! It's Greg Schweitzer. Hey, listen, it's a good day today. It's a really good day today. And today is when we get to focus on rocking our thoughts. Rock Your Thoughts Thursdays, right? So here's what I wanted to share with you today. I watched this really fun video a while back, and I think it's absolutely hilarious. So I kind of want to get a picture of it for you to kind of get started with what we're talking about today and rocking our thoughts. So interesting. I want you to imagine this scene. There's a young soldier sitting at like a Navy type soldier sitting at a desk with a microphone and listening to this transaction that's happening over the radio waves. Okay, and when he's sitting there, all of a sudden the silence is interrupted by a sound of a voice saying, "Please, please help us. We are sinking. We are sinking." And the soldier sits there in silence, this young man, and he waits for just a minute, and he's wondering what's going on. And then, breaking the silence again, is the voice over the radio. "Please, please help us. We are sinking. We are sinking." And after a long pause, the young man leans over to the microphone and pushes the button to respond and says, "What are you sinking about?" When I saw that, I thought it was one of the most hilarious things I'd ever seen in a long time. And so here's what I'm asking you today, you guys. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? Today's all about rocking our thoughts and talking about what are we thinking about. As a matter of fact, specifically, we're going to be talking about how emotions are indicators and not dictators. This is such a freeing understanding if you guys will get a hold of this. Because what ends up happening is if we start understanding that our emotions are simply indicating something is going on, and we need to figure out what that something is, then we're going to be free from believing that our emotions are driving us and we have no other choice, right? That we too often believe that sometimes I just don't feel like it, therefore I can't. Or I feel this way, so therefore that's why I did this, right? That kind of a thing. And so as if our emotions can control us, and there's nothing further from the truth. As a matter of fact, there's been study after study, both from experience and from the science, that's shown us completely differently. All right, so let's talk about thoughts for just a minute here. There's three main ways that we think as people. We think in words, right? Pictures, and emotions. That's how we actually have our thoughts, is we either think about words that we're saying or hearing. We create pictures in our brain of certain types of things, like when I say banana split, poof, there it was in your head. Okay? And then we think also in emotions. Emotions kind of help direct our thoughts and or are directed by our thoughts. So this is the powerful dynamic between the two. So if emotions are indicators and not dictators, one of the important things to remember for us is that logic helps us to think. It moves us to think. And emotions move us to take action. And so if you're taking action in a direction that you don't particularly like, a bad habit, even avoidant behavior, like I'm not doing this, is actually taking action. You're just taking action in the opposite direction. So if that's happening to you, you can start thinking about how this works and how we're thinking, and notice that your emotions are driving your actions. And so if you stop for a moment and just say, what are my emotions indicating to me? What is this telling me? And what's a better way for me to handle this particular situation? You guys, I can't even tell you how incredibly freeing this is, because it lets us realize that we're not as out of control as we think we are. Meaning we have more power to control what we're doing and what we're thinking and what we're feeling and what we're believing than we thought possible. Which not only affects the way we live our life every day with more enjoyment, but it also affects how much productivity and performance we're able to be able to be a part of at higher levels, and so on and so forth. So listen, I hope the joke was funny, okay? And I hope you really get a hold of this piece and just kind of write this down and think about this over the next several days or weeks, and just recognize, you know what, my emotions are indicators, not dictators. And if I'm feeling really crummy right now, that means something triggered me, and I need to stop and think about, what is this indicating to me? And then once you figure out what it's indicated, then you ask yourself, what could I do differently? What could I believe differently or think differently that would help me feel better or be better or act better or do better or perform better or have better? Guys, be better. You're great. It's what you're made for. I love you. See you later. Bye.